Hello, this is Evolving Leader Lessons with Ryan McShane, President and CEO of HR Evolution. If you subscribe to a command and control style of leadership, in other words, operating from positional power, because I'm your boss, that's why, now do it, is your mentality, and have no plans of changing your approach, I invite you to keep scrolling. This is not for you. However, if you operate from a command and control style right now and recognize its limitations and are looking for a new way to produce greater outcomes and personal abundance as well as that for your team, and or you're already operating from a servant leadership model, this article is for you. This video is for you. I would also like to congratulate those in the category of operating from that servant leadership mentality already, because you're about to, if you haven't already, make many, many lives very happy and abundant. So here's what's happening, folks. We are collectively on the precipice of a sea change affecting all of us. The global economy is shifting from one of being an industry-based economy to one of being a knowledge-based economy. You may have heard the term knowledge economy before. Yep, we are in a knowledge economy. Therefore, our value is based not on what we can produce and machine as it once had been in the industrial economy, but what we know and can leverage through advancements in technology and our relationships. Coming to a very natural resource, very material resource-driven industry into a knowledge industry, we've really been slow to adopt an understanding of the non-material influences to business outcomes. In other words, our technology has changed, our economy has changed, yet one thing has continued to remain the same for the majority of organizations. And it's the way they lead, the way they develop their employees, and the way they support their employees. And think about that. Everything around us has absolutely changed except for the way in which we lead and operate most of our business systems today. You know, organizations continue to operate from this "we've always done it this way" command and control style, where obedience and compliance are what are rewarded. And we found at best this only yields minimal compliance from employees and actually creates a severe lack of engagement in the company's products and services. And ultimately, that's going to lead to poor customer service and high turnover among staff. The leadership style itself really sets the tone of the culture for an organization. Leaders leading from a command and control style signal to staff, you're as valuable as long as you do what I say. The unspoken message given by this approach is stay in the box or you're going to face trouble. Precisely when we need out-of-the-box creative thinking to be more competitive in an ever-expanding knowledge economy. The result is the employees are reticent to share and really be authentic because the company norms have already been reinforced for them. Speak up or speak out, and you may face a response that's going to shake your security. So you're not likely to do so. And the norms of leadership derived from command and control, when they're still prevalent in the company, and the company wants to continue or have a chance at growth and success, a new model of norms will have to be created. They're going to have to be created, they're going to have to be communicated, and they're going to have to be strongly reinforced. A new model will then, and only then, cohere with the shift in the company and provide space for knowledge and service to expand across market expectations. So in other words, we're starting to enable ourselves to be much more adaptive to external markets that are shifting and changing all the time by being much more in tune with what is in alignment with the market, what's in alignment with how we can internally operate based on what the market demands. Very simply, we are saying is that the majority of companies continue to operate in an antiquated leadership fashion, not having made the shift and kept up with the pace of change. In fact, the old system applied in the new paradigm actually serves as a detriment to profits, to staff morale, to community connection, and really humanity at large. So we really need this shift. And this shift is going to serve us in return. The biggest challenge we face is the hesitance to make any changes. We recognize that, if things aren't too painful, we continue with the same operating procedures, if you will, or operating model. And so what's ironic about that is we don't typically change things until the pain exceeds the point of doing whatever that activity is. So we need to create a new activity that really entices us and attracts us to this new way of thinking and new way of operating. And as the prolific William Blake once said, you never change things by fighting the existing reality. To change something, you build a new model that makes the old model obsolete. So what kind of new model are we talking about? Well, we're talking about a new model making the old obsolete by way of conscious leadership. And this conscious approach will really yield a new way of interacting as businesses. And some of this new approach is something that was alluded to by John Mackey and Raj Sisodia in their book, Conscious Capitalism. Outstanding book. I highly recommend it if you haven't already checked it out. Conscious Capitalism is the name of the book. Again, John Mackey and Raj Sisodia are the authors. And so let me speak to one aspect that they include in their articulation of the 4 principles of conscious capitalism. And one is conscious leadership. And that's what I'm really talking about today, is making the shift from control to empowerment through by adopting a conscious approach that severs us from this command and control style of leadership that just doesn't work. And it's really lost on the millennial generation as well, our next generation of talent. So conscious leadership, in order to create and operate, it really starts from a self-awareness. Leaders who are willing to question everything in order to ensure it serves the highest purpose of the company. Okay, and so that really entails being flexible, being open-minded, and making sure that we are operating with a basis or interest on what benefits all stakeholders, not causing a detriment to one stakeholder in benefit of another stakeholder. Primarily, conscious leadership is exhibited through a servant leadership model. And so what's that mean? Servant leaders are recognized through their core purpose of equipping their followers to operate from their highest capabilities. So think about it. This is really turning the standard hierarchical business model on its head, literally, because a servant leader really operates by serving all those that follow him or her. And so it's the inverted triangle. They're at the very bottom, and they are serving the followers by providing them and equipping them with all the support and resources that they need to be successful within their role, which align to the greater or higher purpose of that company. It could be the vision or it could be the mission of that particular organization. So really what it all comes down to, folks, is employees are either a company's greatest asset or their greatest liability. Certainly the intended goal of companies to ensure their assets yielded greater revenue than their associated costs. Therefore, that's meeting the intention of being profitable. If you want to maximize your largest asset and become more profitable than ever, then it's evident we must invest in making the shift to a conscious leadership model, providing a new culture of growth, adaptation, and community-wide abundance. This model that we're talking about, the conscious leader, the involved leader, really speaks to the challenges that workforce is facing today in terms of employee engagement, in terms of 4 generations in the workforce, in terms of high turnover and not having succession planning in place, in terms of the fact that we don't have a whole lot of employee growth or leadership development taking place. This model, this is what we're talking about in terms of making the shift. It's just a matter of asking yourself, will you be on the leading edge and soon to experience the result of abundance? Or will you be going kicking and screaming and longing for the comfort of an old paradigm? Contact HR Evolution to find out more about conscious leadership and making that shift for you and your organization today. I can be reached at rmcshane@hrevolutionllc.com or visit me on my website at www.hrevolutionllc.com. Thank you and have a great day.